Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a Married at First Sight All-Star Panel. I'm Glenn from Jackie and Glenn.
I'm Jackie.
Oh, that's Jackie today, y'all. How y'all doing? Today we discussing Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 13. And I have August Love Story. What's going on, Tommy and Artika? How y'all feeling? How was the weekend?
It's been a pollen-filled fun weekend.
Well, I wouldn't call it fun, but it's been a weekend.
Working hard this weekend.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You work hard, play hard, right?
It don't seem like I got to the play part yet. Still waiting on
it. I know, right? Trust me, I understand. It seems like all this. It seems like Saturday and Sunday and all they just blur together. Next thing you know, it's Monday morning again, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, where did the weekend go? Where did the weekend go?
Every week.
Oh man.
Every weekend.
Every weekend. But we're gonna try to have a little fun here, talking about Married at First Sight, talk about these four couples that keep us laughing. Don't keep me crying, just keep me laughing, be shaking my head at them each and every week. Each and every week, like, what's going on with you guys? Y'all a bunch of anyway. Especially this week, in this past episode of Married at First Sight, we got a lot to talk about. Let's start with I'm gonna start off with this couple here, and let's start with Jasmine and Eris. I want to start with Jasmine and Eris from this past episode of Married at First Sight. We saw Eris kind of open up a little bit, and I'm gonna start with you guys. Did you think Eris's opening up this week on Married at First Sight was genuine, and do you believe anything that came out of Eris's mouth? I've seen both people say a lot of different things.
You want me to go first?
I don't remember him opening up, but y'all remind me.
He did. He talked about a lot of stuff.
Did he?
Yeah,
this episode was really boring to me, so I had a hard time focusing.
Especially in his letter, he opened up a little bit. You know, we was talking about his letter, talking about him being a young boy, moving around a lot from Newport News and different places, and how adjusting in life is why he's feeling the way he's feeling about Jasmine now. He opened up with a little bit the letter that his dad wrote to his mom, and so he gave her a little insight into his life and was being more communicating more. And Jasmine really appreciated the communication from Eris. You know, I've seen all different people comments, different posts that Eris is just playing a game, going through the motions. Some people believe that he had a breakthrough moment. I'm not gonna share mine because y'all be coming after me. I'm not gonna be coming after me, but I'll share a little bit later. But about how I feel about Eris. So that was just where he was talking about those things. Now, do I think him and Jasmine are gonna make it? No. Do I think Jasmine she's trying a little bit more because Eris is talking a little bit more, and she even said in her vignette, where has this been at for most of the relationship, right? Where has this been at for the last 4 or 5 weeks? So she see Eris has opened up, but I don't know how much that's him just going along to get along and try to ride the time out, or how much of this is genuine. I can't read between the two. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, your thoughts, people in the chat. I see you, Mona. You be on me. Eris deserves an Oscar for his acting job this week. Hey, if he did, he put on a good job this week. He did a great job. But you got Jack. You want to go? Your thoughts?
Thank you, sister. Is the first thing. No, you said they were going.
Oh, I'm sorry. Artika needed a minute.
Oh no, yeah, Tommy, you can go ahead.
All right, I'll go.
I have to find my notes. I don't remember it.
No, I think this is a genuine Eris. I think what him talking and opening up more felt good to him, and I think that's what we're getting. We're getting what we should have gotten 3 weeks ago. In their time frame, but I think Jasmine is just not receiving it the way she should have because she's over this. So it's a case of what is it, a little bit too late, or whatever the saying is. I think it's a case of that. Like, if he did this 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I think they're going to have breakthroughs and actually make it through this 8 weeks and possibly say yes. But they're definitely a no. And it's because Jasmine, you're opening up great, but it's not helpful for the marriage. It's more so helpful for you. And the you I'm talking about is Eris. And that's the way Jasmine is looking at it. Yeah, it's great that you're opening up, but why now? You know, like all this time I've been trying to encourage you to like me because I'm pretty, and you know that she has a self-esteem issue, as she talks about it more in this episode, that like when she when she moved from Murfreesboro to Memphis, and she was bullied and stuff like that, and that had carried on into parts of her adulthood, and she's getting over it and stuff like that. It's like it's hard to hear that your husband is like not into you, and then doesn't want to talk to you, and is not open to actually like talking about feelings and stuff, and then all of a sudden he does it. Like, yeah, you're not gonna receive that correctly. So I think that's where we're seeing this. Like, it's good for him as a human being, because at 40, you should be able to, do your thing, as far as like express yourself in a way that it doesn't matter what people think about you, you know what I'm saying? But everybody has their own breakthroughs whenever they have it. So I just think it's good for Aries, not good for their marriage, just because it's too late for their marriage. And I think Jasmine is just, I think at this point they're just there so they don't get fined.
Um, I believe that Eris's quote unquote breakthroughs were still very surface level. I didn't see a breakthrough. He talked about how it's okay to open up about his feelings, but he still hasn't done that we've seen. Um, I'm not gonna knock this letter that his dad wrote his mom, right? I didn't get the point in sharing that with her because it didn't offer any additional insight about him as a person to share that letter with her.
It was a letter that his dad basically was apologizing for messing up
Right. That was his
their
daddy
family.
sorry for 2004. That
Right.
has nothing to do with heirs, like at all. So I didn't see the context of that, the point of sharing that, right?
I think it was just because that was something that his dad wrote, and it's almost like a voicemail from like a saved voicemail or
No,
something like that.
I completely get that. That's what I'm saying. It does nothing to project, like to catapult their
Yeah,
relationship.
it absolutely did nothing for their marriage.
That's why I was like, I don't understand why we're talking about this
She was
on
just
this
like,
episode.
oh,
Yeah, your daddy wrote a letter. Yay. Like that's what it was. Um, I I don't see this growth that is alleged that he's having in these conversations. It just seems like he's like, hey, little Aries, it's okay to talk about your feelings. Big Aries is still not going to talk about his feelings, but little Aries, it's cool for you to do it if it ever arises. That's pretty much all I got. And I think Jasmine's just like, I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm obligated contractually, and they're gonna have a hard time doing a show with 3 couples as opposed to 4 couples because they already have had to drop 1 couple. That's what this episode was just really hard for me to watch. I shouldn't even say hard for me to watch, hard for me to care about. That's what it is.
Yeah, it was difficult because you wanted to root, but to me, I told Jackie what made it difficult for me to watch this episode, and maybe I want guys to chime in a little bit because none of the people from Tennessee, right? You couldn't go to everybody else's house. They couldn't give you a real story about how they grew up in this city or grew up in the place where they came from. We saw Kirsten's house, and we'll get to that later. Who else house did we see? Um, couldn't go to Nicole's. You couldn't go to Chris. You could. I mean, you basically couldn't see. None of these people are really from the area, and so you're getting what you can get based off past experiences and nothing from the area. Because I think the area, when we go back to the past episodes, you would see people that did at school or at home and realize what something meant to them. Nothing in Memphis means anything to none of those people. I think we went to Gina's school, or where Gina went to school at. I think, so it's like, to me,
And I think
that
Jenna
makes
is
a big
actually
difference.
from there.
Right.
Aaron should have been able to take us somewhere from his childhood because he moved there as a child.
Mhm.
Jasmine used to live there before she moved to Memphis, so she should have some type of connection. Like the only people that should really get a pass is Clint, Nicole, and Chris. Oh,
Right.
and Shaquille.
And
Like
Shaquille.
Mhm.
The others all have a Nashville connection.
They should, and so they couldn't even give us that, So I think that's why the show's kind of like,
Oh, I was just gonna put my 2 cents in for Eris. I think, like y'all said, Jasmine's over it. He need to be opening up. But really opening up. Then he's just sharing from his past. No real feelings and no real honesty between the two of them. Anytime Shaquille has to talk to Jasmine and let her know, I think you're beautiful inside and out, she's not getting that from Eris. And I think she's at the point where, I think I said this last week, she's at the point where, that's cool, you sharing with me, but ultimately you're not sharing with me so that we can get closer and really grow this marriage. You're sharing with me just to share, because you've kind of settled in your mind that we're friends, so that's where I'm gonna stay at. And so she can share, we can share with each other, but it's not going anywhere. So I think she feels like it's pointless. I thought it was nice of him to share the letter from his dad. One thing he said on the after party is that he has never shared that with anybody. So I guess that was his way of showing some vulnerability and opening up to her. Yes, it does. Really, it's his dad talking to his mom, but the fact that he still holds it and how he said he reads it from time to time. I guess that was supposed to give Jasmine a glimpse of, I'm a real person. I have emotions, I have feelings, and so this is what I fall back on. But Jasmine is over it because I want a marriage, and you just sharing with your friend.
Yeah, that you don't have a marriage. But y'all guys, Memphis rough. This girl said she went from she missed prop. You can't be proper in Memphis. I thought about your
Okay.
text message.
I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the people from my hometown.
Okay, I'm about to say you can't.
It's a term of endearment where I'm from. So we'd be like, "What's up, fool?" Conversation we had on our podcast on our review was that when Tommy met a lot of people from Memphis, he was like, "Why are y'all calling me a fool?" I was like, "It's literally like a term of endearment, like, bruh, man, friend, homie." A lot of things that people look at as, why would you say that to me? I feel like we accept growing up there, and it just feels different for me. You're a person who now has a connection to Memphis because most of your close friends are now from there.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it's a rough place, like knowing about our upbringing?
Nah, you have to survive, right? But I think that's anywhere. Like, you have to learn how to adapt to the place you're at. Now, I will tell you, Memphis, like both of us from Tennessee. Memphis is in West Tennessee and I'm East Tennessee. Everywhere in Tennessee, Memphis people are special. Like, in my eyes, it's a good way, but they're different from everybody else. They talk different, they move different, they do different, and
we say that we're from Memphis, not from Tennessee,
right?
If that makes any sense.
But I get it though, But I also get being different, in a space. And that's what she was. She was different. She talked different because I don't know if y'all heard people from Memphis when you guys went down there, but they talk different.
We're differently different.
Yeah, real different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But you go down there and you talk proper and whatever, however what was going on. She just needed to adapt, and whatever people hold on to, that's what they hold on to. You can't do anything about that. But
it was probably just a lot of, why you talk like that?
Yeah, they probably talked about her because she talked different, because she probably dressed different from them. It's probably a bunch of reasons, but she survived it.
She did, but she also went back to Nashville, so there's that.
There's that,
I gotta say this because when you were talking, I kept thinking
The same thing.
it's like
you
Baltimore.
You about to say the same thing I'm about to say.
Baltimore and like PG people. So like PG,
It's
like
the exact same thing.
Huh?
It's the exact same thing.
That's what I'm saying. So Baltimore act like it's its own entity, and Prince George's County is DC. I mean, it's in the DMV area, but you would act like it's two different worlds.
Baltimore is own
like
state.
They're not both in Maryland.
No, Baltimore is its own state.
They definitely have their own dialect.
Baltimore doesn't.
When you said fool in Baltimore, what is it? Dummy.
Yeah.
It's dummy in Baltimore. Yeah.
But Maryland don't. I mean, Baltimore don't even want to be connected.
Look, my sister
Baltimore
said it's
don't want to be connected
worlds.
to anything with Maryland. It's two different worlds, right? Baltimore, like, yo, we ain't part of the DMV, but you in Maryland. Don't even say DMV. Don't even say you from DMV in Maryland. I'm from Baltimore. So it's totally different. So I'm not talking bad about Baltimore people. I've lived there, been there. So all you Baltimore
we
people.
We went to school in Baltimore.
So all you Baltimore people out there, come holler.
In Baltimore.
But it is two different worlds. I totally understand how people get picked on from that aspect. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, but that's not just. Obviously, I know we all know that it's not just a a Nashville, Memphis, Tennessee thing. Wherever you're at, and if you talk a little more, you know what they call it. You talk white, but you talk black, just because it's proper. And some people do get picked on with that sometimes. So I could understand where she's coming from, but
I'm saying too much. You gotta look at just back to Jasmine real quick.
Because kids can be cruel.
With her coming out of this self-esteem issue situation and coming into this marriage, she expected to have a husband that will kind of be like with her, like, hey, let's go along, let's do this, this, and this. And now she has a husband who's kind of pulling her back into that self-esteem situation. I don't like you because you ain't got a big butt. I don't like you because you don't have these type of features.
He's never told, okay, tell me if I'm right or wrong. He's never said it's because you don't have a big butt. He has never told her exactly what it is. He's never said it.
He's not mentioned it, and I don't remember him saying anything to her specifically about what about her looks it is. He's just like the attraction isn't there, which is sending mixed signals because the first 2 weeks, all you want to talk about was sex. And then after that, it's like the attraction's not there. It's like, which one is it? I'm confusion.
It's probably all that pork she eat, man.
Oh, because he don't eat pork.
Well, he's probably like I'm telling you, it's something that she did, and I can't pinpoint what it is. So like my first thing was the teeth, like her bottom row of teeth. But
he was still gonna try the first 2 weeks, so it wasn't the teeth.
I'm just saying, it's like it's something, right?
She got those fixed, by the way.
Did she?
Oh yeah, there's a picture out there with her stuff taken care of.
We're good.
Maybe she got that flapper like they were talking about.
But I'm not. Yeah, so I agree with you, Tommy. It's not that. I think it's the fact that she's not jumping his bones. I think he's used to people because he's always saying, "I'm a 12. She really liked me. I'm real handsome." And he's probably used to women who's jumping him and aggressive to him, and she's not doing that, and so therefore, he can't handle it. He can't handle it because she's not jumping his bones. Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead and say he ain't all that.
I was saying he ain't all that. Miss Mona, I don't know if he's vegan. I know he doesn't eat pork.
I don't think he's vegan because he did order seafood on the honeymoon. So he might be pescatarian. It might just be he doesn't eat pork, but I know he at least was eating seafood on the honeymoon.
Yeah.
So anything else with Eris and Jasmine? Because
I don't have no hope for them. That's the only thing. I have no hope for them.
No,
they're gonna be real good friends when it's over with.
I don't even think they're gonna be good friends.
I was gonna say maybe I should not say real good.
Right, right. The real good makes it more special.
She's not even gonna be able to get him to watch the dog like Gina's gonna be with Clint.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have the smoothest divorce. And they're just gonna be like, yeah, that's my ex-wife or that's my ex-husband, and probably won't even mention it that way, and probably just move on with life because that's what it seems like they're the type of people to do.
Yeah. Well, Gina and Clint. Guys, thoughts on Gina and Clint from this past episode?
Let me
Oh,
see.
but real quick, before we get Jasmine, I do like Jasmine and Eris's interaction when they do things outside of the apartment. They seem like they really enjoy each other when they do things outside, and so I think they having fun is something they may need to incorporate more into their relationships. Because when you see them outside of the apartment doing things, they really enjoy each other. They're really playful. They have fun. It seemed like, and I told Jack, I think I said this in our review. I think their work schedules is one of the reasons why they really can't get along because they talked about it early in the season, different times and different things. I don't think Eris has the time to do what needs to be done with Jasmine, and Jasmine doesn't have the time to do the things that she needs to do with Eris. So she's still doing competitive cheering. She's getting home late at night with the girls that she's dealing with. He's probably already in bed, and they don't have time to have fun and do the things they need to do.
He don't care.
He probably don't care.
You make time for the things you want to do though.
Say it.
Yeah, you do.
You know, so but that's another thing too. With that being the case, that one of them or both of them are probably thinking, well, if they wanted to spend time with me, they would make time to spend time with me.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're both probably waiting on the other person to do it, then it's like you don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a bunch of theories with that. I just don't think they gonna work out all because they couldn't get their communication efforts down in the beginning. So a lack of interest and a lack of trying, I think, is what harmed them the most.
Mhm.
Correct. Totally agree.
So same with Gina and Clint.
Yeah. Oh, that's who we talking about?
Oh, no, we can switch to.
We
Oh,
moved
yeah.
to
I
them and
thought,
then
man,
we
I
dipped
thought
back.
we were still on.
Yeah, I was transitioning. Same, they
Hey.
they almost they're not in the same place.
Yeah.
Jackie, that was a great transition, man. Because I sure was
He
like,
had lost it.
I was out of there. Is it my go or do I wait? It's my
Yes.
go. I ain't have much notes for them because I don't know about Gina and Clint. They're just existing at this point. They're existing in the same space at this point to me. And I literally I wrote he talked to his friend David and he was telling him he wants to know a deeper Gina. And then we're gonna focus on getting deeper because having fun isn't going to be a good.
I think you're on the last
Oh
episode.
snap! I'm on the wrong episode.
This was when they went to the soccer field and to the hair.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the wrong notes. Goodness gracious, man, my bad. So I did write a little bit more.
That did.
This was the lasagna test. Okay, that's how I thought I was looking at something weird, man. But Clint's trying and Gina's not. Literally is the gist of their relationship. Gina
And
is
Clint isn't even. I don't think Clint is trying hard. I think he's just like he has more effort than she does.
right. It's weird because it's like, okay, they're hanging out, they're doing this, and it's like they're not moving forward anywhere. The efforts are still keeping them in the same place. Like there's no physicality between them. They don't hug, they don't touch or kiss or anything like that. Um, they're hanging out like they should, like they're friends. It seems like they're really good friends, but what's the difference from a friendship and the marriage? Because it only looks as if they're married friends.
Clint is her roommate.
Yeah.
Like if they ever decide that they want to move to a really nice neighborhood, they could put their salaries together and they could qualify for the home of their dreams. And Clint can have whatever girlfriend he wants, and Gina can go to the hair salon as often as she wants. That's the extent of their relationship. And she knows when she gets home, Hank is gonna have been fed, walked, and be ready to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. They're just on this process giving all the right answers to keep going. Like I'm still in this, but they're not.
But that's the thing. I believe strongly Now, Gina, I don't.
Mhm.
But I believe Clint is truly in this to try. Like, I don't get the attraction thing. Like, these are I don't know the proper word to say, but these are cute people.
Attractive.
Attractive people. I couldn't think
Mhm.
of that word. They are very attractive people.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue that they're having is that they're friends. That's crazy to say. That this married couple are friends, and that's their problem.
Mm-hmm. And
That
it's
is-
been their problem since the very beginning.
since she got over the hump of
No, it was the issue before that. Because I never saw them going on the trajectory of this can work in the very beginning. Like when you look back at it,
Mhm.
the you're what did he use? Thicker than the girls I normally talk to, less slender, more athletic, whatever
More,
his
yeah.
verbiage was. That was just her way of being able to say, well, it's not gonna work out. I'm not his type.
And then
But she said before that he's not her type. So it's like it's real easy. It's convenient.
but it's crazy because it's like if the types that you like were working, you wouldn't be here.
Correct.
So saying, "Oh, it's not my type," oh, this and that, you the one told the experts what you like and what you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
You described your type. They gave you a person.
Mm-hmm.
Really dive into it. It's the dumbest thing that I ever heard of. You go on this show to try this experiment, and the first thing you're like, "Well, it's not my type. It's not what I normally do." Well, I mean, this is not a normal situation at all. This is not normally how people get married.
You right.
So it's just like, man, how do you become more physical with this? With I think they got like 21 days in or something like that.
20 days left.
21 days left. So they got 3 weeks left. How do you become physical enough to say, I want to keep going? I want to do this after decision day.
You don't. You hire Clint to be the head of your marketing department for your salon, and you just keep on living.
Was it not weird that the girls came in and like gave all those praises to Gina? Like, I know they're not just gonna dog Gina, but it was like she almost paid them to come in and say these nice things to her.
Yeah, one girl started out saying we have drama every day, but Gina helps us out or something like that, or we fix it. She and she didn't even acknowledge one girl that was coming. So it's like another girl that showed up and popped up out of nowhere.
Like y'all together all day at work. Why are y'all here?
And the first thing they
Right.
want to talk about is work.
Right. Do y'all not have friends outside of this salon?
It's TV time.
Maybe not.
She don't think about it. Think about it from the marketing standpoint, right? We know her salon. Now she did all these people that's working in her salon are, let's say, independent contractors. They know what they do. So now there's free advertising. She get free advertising, and all the girls get free advertising and talk about how great the salon is. It is a commercial without making it a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great place to be. And come on down to whatever name of salon is, and we'll get your hair right. And then you get to see all the beauticians that are working there. You know. And here's the thing we don't talk about much. Even when they get divorced or Clinton get divorced, they still live in the same apartment. She can just drop Hank off. Like whether she lived downstairs or he lived upstairs, whatever case may be, meet me in the lobby. And Hank can get dropped off and Hank and Clint can have visitations and everything, right? they all in the same apartment. Matter of fact, if Clint wanted just give they such good friends like Tommy said, shoot, give Clint the key to your apartment so he can go get Hank.
Because
Right.
she doesn't have any like issues with him as a person. Like he can come and go as he please. I said they're roommates. It's just a roommate situation, and we happen to be married to each other. However, if they allow, we gonna end up getting an annulment. So I don't have a divorce. It never existed. We were on a TV show to promote my salon.
Herbert funny. Clint said Gina's salon doesn't allow redheads.
No, she said she worked with gingers all the time. But I want to go to something Tommy said. Like when we talk about when people, what you prefer or your type, like it didn't work for you before. Why are you so focused on that now? The one thing I was thinking though is it's like people that are really bent on their type looking a certain way, that they're gonna have problems because what the premise of this is supposed to be. Okay, so when you say my type, so let's say if you're really into like a meathead, or you're really into a super masculine, like almost toxic masculinity type guy, or I don't want to jump ahead, but like to Nicole, obviously she's used to guys to take advantage of her. You know what I'm saying? So I think that really might be the case with, like we said with Eris. If you're the type of person that's so focused on the physical, like that's not gonna work for you. You're not gonna be in this process. You can't be like, oh, I only like big butts and a smile, weave down to their butt. I don't do gingers. I do blondes. I don't do brunettes. Yeah, then you should not be married at first sight. Because if try a ginger, there's nothing wrong with the ginger. Get past that. If you can't get past looks to get to the personality, because I think underneath all that, Clint's got a pretty good personality. You know what I mean? I really thought from the beginning, I was like, I don't know about this Clint dude. I don't know. But he ain't looking too bad to me, personality wise. So, but they're roommates. Clint can watch Hank, and they just.
I need Clint. I just need Clint to go over to the hallway one time and try.
That's what I was gonna say.
I need Clint to go try.
I need him to bust a move. Let's see how she act. Bust a move.
Yeah, I need him to try, Tommy. I mean, Clint need to go one night, just creep over the hallway and lay in the bed and see what she says and see what happens from there. If she tell you to get out, bro, you know what time it is. All right, you know where you stand. It's friend zone for the next 21 days. You guys said, and let it be what it is.
But she'd be like, ew.
I need.
Did you just touch me?
I need to see Clint try to give her a kiss or do something romantic, some intimacy that goes and get involved, because we haven't seen any of that. Anybody can bring their friends over and y'all can hang out and he can cook souffles and all this other stuff and take care of the dog and all that stuff.
Along those lines, here's another thing. While you right there, don't lose your train of thought. Bro, I'm going to need some Clint to have some of his boys come over. Where the dudes at?
Yes.
Where the dudes at? He got some. Why you don't invite your friends over?
No, they don't want to be on this show. They
they have been just with him, but they have not been to the place yet.
Maybe I figured that maybe the time they're doing this with the lady from the salon, his boys can't get off. They kind of free. Maybe, and then again,
even when they had the housewarming, the people he invited were females. Why you didn't invite your guys over?
He made me know his people. His friends may not like Gina.
I don't know what it is.
But it's a good question though. Good point. Clint on the boys to bring over.
They probably all married and like, man, I don't want to be a part of that.
Maybe.
I ain't trying to get. I don't want no problems. You don't want no problems, big fella.
You can't be with all these single women over here. Good point there, though.
Nah, yeah. But I agree with y'all with the. You got to try something. That's the one thing that's Quad ain't said nothing this whole time we was on mute. Just doing ham. I'm sorry.
Quad heard you say try something. He like, you know what? I'm getting ready to try something. Yeah, I'm getting ready to try something right now.
But I just think if Clint just rub her back, like touch her, because I mean, like that means something. It means something when you do it. I laugh because it's something that Artika said that I didn't do. And she was like, I kind of missed you doing it. And then when I do it, anyway, it's a long story.
I'm confused.
I tell you when we meet again. But it's you have to have that physicality. There's no way around it for any type of relationship further than a friendship. You have to be physical with each other,
And Rose, I thought she was from the area, but you are right. We haven't seen her friends and family, but she went to hair school in Nashville and she was bartending in Nashville. She bartended her way through hair school. maybe she moved there for college. I don't know, but she should have some connection other than hair school to
Yeah,
Nashville.
I thought she was from the area too. I thought she's from the
No,
area
I, thought
too.
I think she said she was in Arkansas.
But I mean, she's been there longer than some of the other people that are transplants.
Yeah, she definitely has.
But I don't know. I mean, I think Clint's not gonna bust the move because I think Clint's not there.
No, I disagree. We got to realize Clint is the same guy who 2 weeks before, like Eris, the night before, he said he got the news he done had sex with somebody. Clint is like Eris. Clint probably want to get in the sheets or GTD, but he at the point he respectful, but he's also at the point like if she give it, I take it, and I'm willing to do it. But he don't even want to push the issue because he don't want to be rejected. Look, a guy who knows he's gonna be rejected may not even try to push the issue, and he doesn't. I don't think Clint wants to push the issue right now. With Gina, I think if she gives it to him and she offers, he would love to have it. If he knew he could get it or get some, he would go for it. I think he knows down. I ain't getting nothing from her. She won't even sleep. She won't even come across the hallway. I mean, think about it. If he knows it's a zero factor, I mean, I think he should try to push, but he know in his mind he's like, I'm not pushing on her.
That's why I try. That's basis for, hey man, you have nothing to lose.
You're right. He has nothing to lose.
Absolutely nothing to lose.
All she can do is say no, and she been saying no.
She been saying no.
That's it.
And they get you some ammunition to bring up the Dr. Pepper or Pastor Cal later. Like, look, I tried. I went across the hallway.
Exactly.
I fixed the night dinner. I went here. I did that. And I tried to crawl up in the bed. She said no. I even sent Hank in there first. You know what I'm saying?
But it's funny because it's like, okay, my thinking, right, is if I was in college and I was trying to be physical with a girl, I'd be like, all right, how can I do this in a tactful way? Well, let's watch a movie. Let's watch a movie in the bed. And I'm not gonna get out the bed. You know, we just gonna fall asleep in the bed. Either I gotta play sleep or something like that. You know, but we just gonna fall asleep in the bed. Wake up next to each other because that helps. Waking up next to your spouse every morning helps. Helps. It's like Folgers in your cup. You know,
yeah,
part of waking up.
Everybody like that warm body next to him. You know,
right? You don't write jingles,
man. What you said? Did Jamie Foxx write jingles?
On the Jamie Foxx show.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody likes that. So we all got Clint and Gina friends. I think Mona said, yeah, after party, she said needs to paint. Oh yeah, he needs to paint Gina. I mean, he needs to.
So that means he has a desire. Yeah.
He has a desire.
We haven't watched the party in like 8 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a desire, but he just he doesn't want. They haven't kissed since the honeymoon.
It's the fear factor of I don't want to push too hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the only thing that's stopping him from trying anything, because at this point they're friends. They hang out. The thing that happened on the honeymoon doesn't come up. They have these weird conversations about stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. They talking about the apocalypse or something. They were talking about. But
eating Hank.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I just think, you know, it's that fear factor of if I push too much, how would she react to it, and stuff like that. And he just has to, and it's kind of unfair too. Why does he have to be the one to do it?
Because she don't like him.
Yeah, she don't like
that. But I don't think she don't like him. I don't think she just.
I'm saying like that.
I think she like. Nobody likes people like that in the beginning. You didn't like me like that.
Some people that do like people like that.
I was like,
I don't like anybody like that.
I think you're pretty.
Thank you.
But I'm done. That's all I got.
But here's a question though: if the comment about the slender and athletic hadn't been made, do you see them being further than where they are right now?
They said in the very beginning that they were not each other's types. I think that they were just going along because there nothing egregious had happened to make it so
Mhm.
that there was no reason for them to be cordial and nice and try to see this thing through. That was the out for Gina, and Clint doesn't have to do a lot to appear to be trying. It's real easy to look like you trying hard when the other person's giving absolutely nothing. Because even with their let's get to know each other, he's like, well, I sit and I talk to her, and she's like, no, you need to ask me specific questions. It's like
Right.
nobody gets to know people by saying, so how did it feel that your daddy wasn't a part of your life? That's not how
Right.
this works.
No.
Nah.
Mm.
Do you think? I mean, you same thing. Do you think if the slender athletic comment would Gina and Clint be at a further place?
I think they would. I think they would still be friends. I agree with Artika because I was gonna say that before too. She found with that slender and athletic comment, she found something to latch on to. She just didn't latch on to it as hard as some people we've seen in other seasons. Like let's do Dominique and McKinley, even. you know, she just hasn't latched on it.
Ben, because Morgan, she latched on early.
Yes, and I was who's the other one I was just about to say? Chris and Alyssa. And Chris didn't even do. Alyssa latched on to something Chris didn't even do. So, but I think they probably would be better friends than they are now. They probably still might not be attracted to each other. It just probably wouldn't be as stale as it is right now. Maybe they'd be holding hands at least.
I'm sorry. I just don't believe that these folks have been living with each other. Like, let me say it again. These are not ugly
Yeah.
people.
Thank you.
And these folks been living with each other for 5 weeks at this point. And they don't think each other are like they not past the I don't think you attractive part. Like in they have a license to be attracted to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no reason for them not to be physical with each other, like each other, kiss on each other, hug on each other, touch on each other. And it's like that don't make sense. That for me, that just does not make sense to me.
And Kathy, I will agree with you. It is too late for a sex therapist. The people that have had sex are having it. The people that are going to have sex have done it. The others are not.
I was thinking the same thing. I think Mona said the sex therapist is coming next week. For the ones it's gonna work for, it's gonna work because they already working it. For the other ones, it ain't gonna do nothing.
I'm not beg to differ because it might save a marriage.
Who
marriage is gonna save?
Look, Shaquille and Kirsten.
Gina, sure.
Shaquille and Kirsten already there. They painting each other and stuff. Nicole and Chris have already consummated. The other two, they're not even touching each other.
Man, look.
I'm not gonna start touching you just because the sex therapist come. I'm still gonna be repulsed.
You can't tell me if Eris and Jasmine get together and Jasmine rocks that man's world, that Eris ain't gonna see her something different. And you can't tell me if Clint and Gina.
But she's not gonna do it because she's like, I understand what the sex therapist, the instruction she gave us, but he don't like me. I ain't trying to make nobody like me that don't like me. I'm not doing it.
Right. I think Clint and Gina, if they had sex, I think it might make them a little bit better.
I'm with you on that one. I agree with that one.
It ain't gonna happen.
I don't think they like it's just I don't know. They need to do something.
Like they need a kissing therapist. They need to start with kissing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look, but Tommy said the same thing Glenn be saying, and it's a little bit different. So, like, for the ones that at least stay in a room with each other, like I think y'all said it before, like you just try to sneak your hand over. For the people that's in different rooms, like you said, for Clint, hey, let's watch a movie. I just might not leave tonight.
Shoot, kick you out the room.
Try to do something.
Somebody be the big spoon, somebody be the little spoon. Cuddle up, put your arm across her back. Do something.
Who's that? Tilly? Oh, yeah. Sex didn't work for Alexis because she said the sex didn't work.
Yeah, she said the sex didn't work. Look, I'm not.
Who's
I'm not
Alexis?
She said Justin didn't work.
Alexis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not commenting on dudes because dudes like coming after people these days. So I'm gonna leave comments alone about people. Oh man, let's move on. Chris and Nicole. Chris and Nicole.
Line Nicole.
I'm about to say the same.
What?
Oh, we found out Nicole's a liar.
What?
What's she lie about?
Nicole has a lying issue. When she was younger, she lied a lot.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. She said she was a liar.
She was a
And,
habitual liar.
Yeah. And Chris was like, if I knew this, I would. If I knew that, I wouldn't be rocking with you. I wouldn't be dealing with you.
But thank God he changed his lives. And the things I used to do, I don't do no more. So she ain't a liar no more.
How you know?
I ain't a liar no more. I'm delivered.
Well, we know he was lying too. So there's that.
Still lying.
Y'all are shit, man. I'm delivered. Women wasn't. Okay, brother.
Oh wow. Oh man. Gina and Clint, and yeah, not Gina and Clint, excuse me, Nicole and Chris. Jack, let's start with you.
I don't really have a whole lot to say. I like Nicole and Chris. I like that they can share with each other. That they're actually kind of cut from the same cloth. Like we talked about last week, how they have their unpretty issues. Their I don't feel loved, feel like I deserve love type of thing. And hopefully they can get that from each other. But I get what Chris was saying too. Yeah, if I had met, old Nicole, like I absolutely would not have messed with her. And that's why I said, thank goodness she's not that same Nicole. And I'm glad to see that he cut her some slack, because God knows as teenagers, we all did a lot of stuff that we wouldn't do as an adult. Hopefully we learn from it. So I hope that, he said that in his vignette, but, he won't be the type of person to try to, throw it back at her, because she's obviously changed. Her dad said in the previous episode that she's changed, but I just, I don't really have a whole lot with them. I like them doing the painting thing. I like that they have a lot of fun with each other and that they laugh. Man, they laugh so hard with them fake accents. And Nicole turned all kinds of red with that mustache on. But I don't have a whole lot to say. I like Nicole and Chris. I do.
Biggest thing, I'm gonna put a question out. Nicole said this on her own Instagram. She said people talk about she being too vulnerable, that she's sharing too much of her business, that she's putting a lot out there about some of the abusive situations she's been in, about some of the things. Do y'all think she's being too vulnerable?
I don't.
You think she's sharing too much?
I don't. I think when you've been through a situation like that with the partner that you're with, you need to put that out there so they won't be like, where is this coming from? Because then they know, oh, okay, it's because you're not used to dealing with people like me. You're used to dealing with other people. So he won't be confused when she pulls back or acts a certain way. I don't see nothing wrong with it at all.
I agree. I don't see anything wrong with it. When you are in a relationship with someone, they have to understand about that part of your past. And it's okay to be vulnerable in marriage. I don't get why people would feel like she needs to hide that part. I think she needs to figure out why she allowed it, but hiding it, I don't think it's the issue or is an issue.
Yeah, she got it. Like those are things you have to talk about when it comes to your spouse and everything. And the interesting part is everything. You don't have to talk about everything at one time. And I think that's what a lot of people forget. Or in this situation, I got the feeling of they're trying to get enough information about each other in a small period of time. Like me and Artika will in August be married 7 years, and she still learned something about me this year, that she never knew. And it's not a sense of I was hiding or anything. It just never came up. And when it did, oh yeah, this happened, type of deal. So they're dealing with a situation where they're having to give the information out in 8 weeks that normally would come out through natural conversation over years. The situation with the cigarette lighter, that's a big one. So I want you to know this is where I am and this is what happened to me. It was I thought it was kind of assuring for her when Chris kissed her cigarette burn. At the beginning when they was on the honeymoon, I was like, oh, that's nice of you to do that, to make sure that she feels safe and comfortable in talking with you about horrible things and horrible decisions that she made. Now we fast forward to her talking about her lying. You can only hope that was a characteristic that has died as she's gotten it was only a phase in her life. As she's gotten older, she knows, okay, I need to be truthful and I don't need that type of attention. And that was another thing we talked about in our review of it, is she seeks attention by lying, but she's still seeking attention. Like she wants the attention from everything. Like she has to be the center of the room, and so it's like, can Chris deal with that? Which their personality seem to, somebody's gonna be the main act, and then somebody's gonna be the producer. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like their personalities will click like that, but it's just a matter of what will she do for the attention? Because that's the stuff that starts coming into question, is what type of attention is she seeking if she doesn't get the attention that she really needs.
Agreed.
Yes. one for Tommy.
I like Tommy said, I think for the people that complained about her being too vulnerable, like Tommy said, they're having to discuss a lot of these highlights and low points very quickly in a short amount of time, because they do have to make a decision, like, am I going to stay with this person or am I not? So I'm gonna have to kind of like unload. Like you said, you probably wouldn't have learned this for a while, or unless something comes up. Oh man, I remember that time when I was young. You'd be like, for real? You never told me that. They're having to hit the side that again. So that's why I said she's not being too vulnerable, but she's really trying to think. I hate to say it like this. You try to build the case for them to stay with you past the 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to build a case. So I got to put all my cards out on the table. Maybe not all of them. Most of my cards out on the table. Some things I might save for later. But the other thing is, it shows me too, not to be too churchy on a Sunday, but if I can talk about it, then I'm ready to deal with it and I can get past it. I would have a problem if she could never say to me, this guy burned me with a cigarette. So there's still some shame. There's still some shame there, and you're still holding on to being in that place. So I think it's good when you can talk about it. It's the people going to the AA meeting. Hey, my name is so-and-so and I'm an alcoholic. That's the first step, is acknowledgement. So she's acknowledging.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good for her. I think, even with Chris, to learn his background and talk about when he talked about his father and how they didn't have a good relationship and how now they can move into the relationship, and how Chris, it shows that he's willing to, even if relationships are severed, that he's willing to work on relationships. What her biggest thing for her saying was if they break up, she said they will be it will hurt her. it will have a big impact on her. She'll be brokenhearted.
Yeah, for whichever way it happens,
Yeah,
whether it's
whichever way.
amicable or if it's not.
Yeah, she'll be brokenhearted. I think Chris will be brokenhearted if they break up. I don't see at this point.
But she said she could deal with it.
Yeah,
that's a good.
She said she could deal with it, but at this point, I don't see anything breaking them two up.
No,
I just don't. I don't see anything breaking them two up. I think if decision day was today, shoot, if decision day is 3 weeks from now, I think that's the only couple that's gonna make it. In my opinion, that's my.
Shaq and Kirsten.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you why, man. We can transition now. We get ready to transition over to them anyway. But I'm gonna transition to them. Shaq and Kirsten's not gonna make it because she's Kirsten. Sorry, Shaq and Kirsten's not gonna make it because she's a spoiled brat. She used to getting everything, and Shaq ain't that dude to give her everything. Shaq is not that dude that's gonna pamper her like that, like the way that she wants. Now he may be romantic, he may do different things, but the way that she wants to be pampered, buying a house, buying a new Mercedes.
That's not even pampered. That's taken care of.
Taken care of.
But a kept woman.
She want to be a kept woman. Shaq ain't doing that. He said, I got student loans, dog. He said, I ain't doing that yet. You want all this extra stuff. And we're like 4 weeks in. You just now started liking me for real. I mean, you just now started liking me. And so you went from just now starting to like me because I painted your body to me buying you a house, buying you a new car because you already drive a Mercedes, which that's funny to me. She drive a Mercedes, but ain't got no pictures or nothing in our house. Can't even get a dresser. Right? You can't get a dresser, but you can pay that car payment, but you can't get a dresser, a drawer, some hangers, or some pictures, some picture frames, a futon, anything. And your apartment's real bare, and you got a what was it? BMW? It was a Mercedes. It was a Mercedes.
She said Mercedes.
Yeah, you got a Mercedes, but you got nothing in your apartment. To me, you live in hood rich.
I used to work with
Gator boots with a pimped out Gucci.
I used to work with a girl like that. She drove a late model Benz to say that she drove a Benz. And she had so many issues with this Benz. But when she talked to people about what she was driving, it was, I drive a Benz. And I'm like, yeah, it's 2015 and you drive a 1992. Like, it's just go get a newer car. Like, so you can stop having all these issues with your car. But I don't understand. I think that, okay, from the house standpoint, buying me a house standpoint, I think they needed to have more of an in-depth conversation because what does me buying you or us a house look like? What does that mean? Like you're saying a car is a good push present. Yeah, you can go get qualified for a car and go drive it off the lot, but who gonna pay the car note every month? Because like, what we doing here? I think that there needs to be more conversation surrounding the expectations there because it's confusing.
I'm okay. I think what's her name? Kirsten is she has this picture of what husband's supposed to be like and do based off of what she saw her dad doing. End result. She saw end result of her dad's work, right? There's no reason for a child to ask their dad, so what about the other part? I talked about this. I mentioned this part in our review because this was the big standout for me. She's asking, first off, she wasn't playing. And the conversation that they had at the end should have been the conversation that they had when they were sitting in that house. Please go get him. Because she was dead serious, and then the on top of her not or him not meeting her dad, her not having the conversation with her dad about the times that he didn't have it, because she always said, or when they was at her house that she lived with both parents, she was like, yeah, my dad always provided. My dad did this. He would go to work. We would be getting ready to go to school. Blah, 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 blah. My dad. It's weird that you're so talking about your dad so much, but he hadn't even met your husband or at least talked to him. I understand your dad may not agree with the process in which you guys have gone forward, but if your dad is a major parent for you, come on, something would have happened by now, you know. So it's that, but it's mostly you're seeing the end result of what work your dad put in, and never did you ask what was the work, because you got like you can't go up to a person that you're married to, a stranger, quote unquote, and be like, hey, I need you to buy me a house because of this title that you have. I still need to know you. What did like this is a $2 million house. I don't have $2 million. How do we maintain this? What does I like? Yeah, it's nice, and anybody can imagine a family in a big house like that. Yeah, it's fun to do. But being realistic, what can we afford? Have we even gotten to that point? Like, I don't like it that they don't have the financial episode in the seasons no more, because that's a major part.
Right.
But
She only know he makes a year. I mean, right. she should have known that he has student loans, right? Before she even got to that point. She should have known, hey, you know, this. And I'm thinking business. She's thinking, okay, he buy me this house, we get a commission, we get to flip the commission, then we get to put the commission on the house. So I'm thinking she's thinking like long business goals as well.
She don't look that smart.
She said her story looks like it's made up.
For real.
Yo, and I noticed something with that comment, Mona. She kept saying that they separated. She never used the word divorced. I was also very confused by that. Like, were her parents ever even actually married? Because she kept saying they split up, they split up, they split up. Were they married? Did they divorce? Are you confused what your expectations are because you're making them up in your mind about what you thought your dad did? It could be a lot.
Right. It is. That's what I said too, Deborah, because again, I had to go back and watch. Her dad didn't come to the marriage because he didn't want to take a COVID test. He didn't want to come to the wedding because he was stubborn. So maybe it's like the reason why his parents are not together is because he's stubborn. And so whatever it is, then she said on after party again that I'm just going by what she said. So y'all that she tried to set up times for her and Shaq to meet her dad, but he was always working, always busy, and they did talk on the telephone.
Shaq was busy.
Shaq was busy sometimes, and her dad would be busy. Their schedules could not match up, but he did talk to him on the telephone. Again, go back to what Tommy said earlier.
You make time for what you want to make time for.
You make time for what you want to make time for. And I guess neither one of them want to make time to see each other because that should have been something. But then also makes it look like her dad don't want to be on TV because all these times where they have family come over or friends come over, that would have been an opportunity for dad to come over.
Okay. I want to say that Hubert, right. Look, as a kid, I didn't know what my father and mother paid for. I don't know what they paid for.
As a child, you don't even care.
No. So I'm like, yeah. So it makes you wonder, did she think dad was doing some things that he wasn't? Because maybe behind the scenes, mama was really doing more than she thought.
No, she may have got older parents like my grandparents. Like I said on our review, my grandfather paid for that house. I mean, he bought the land.
But did you know that when you were little? You probably found that out when you were grown. What I'm saying, 8-year-old, you don't know
I knew that when I was
paying
little,
for what.
Because I was that kid around grown folks' conversation, keep getting in trouble. You know, so when granddad would add on to the house. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I say my grandparents because my parents was in the military, so they didn't get their house until after my dad retired, and I was been grown, so that's how I can revert to that.
Yeah.
And so my dad kind of took care of my house because my mom ain't working.
You brought this up in being in the Tennessee area. This is the other thing that I thought about too. I was like, the house was $2.9 million. I don't know, like where we at. That may or may that's a whole lot of house.
Okay, so Nashville has just gone through like a weird housing boom. where the prices have like skyrocketed, but even still at $2 million, no, they can find a house for 350,000 easily in Nashville still to this day.
See, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's why I felt like that was a grab. Like, oh, can we get a house like this? And Shaq, I think Shaq was like, yeah, we see what we qualify for, what we can get. $2 million. That's a lot. That's a lot. You talking about off the rip? Can you get me a house like this? I can get you a house, something like this on a lower scale. We might can talk about that.
Like far out more rural parts that are still accessible as Middle Tennessee, and they could have a nice big house out there, but she gonna have a long commute when she gotta go show a house to somebody in Nashville. He's gonna have
And that was my thing. Long commute or find a house, but how much are you willing to put in? Like Shaq said, like what you putting in, like what you doing? Do you expect me to do all this? Maybe she caught up in the fact that Married at First Sight is paying all this stuff while they in his apartment. While they're taking care for 8 weeks.
I don't know.
Or because you can't move, you can't leave the Married at First Sight apartment, right? Or and then move into this.
Like I said in our review, this my other thing. When he was like, how does that work? Where the husband buys the house and it works on any day. I know people that's do it. Me personally, I said this in our review. I don't know nobody. I know nobody that I'm connected to whose spouse just bought them a house. They just bought it I don't know nobody. Like we got a house together. They might have paid a majority of the mortgage. They might have had a down payment, but just buy me a house. I don't know nobody. Kirsten, you lying.
Technically speaking, that's our situation. Tommy bought the house, not me. My name is just on the deed. But that's also because I don't work full time. I work part time. And so it's me being on the loan didn't help with the student loan debt that I have. So we just did it with one person. We was able to get the house. I don't want to say that we necessarily wanted. The housing market was awful during that time. But that's another story for another day. But we were able to get this house with just him.
But look, right, but he bought it for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
No, I bought that for me. She just gets the benefit.
There you go.
He bought it for, like, his name went on it for y'all to go living together. He didn't buy it for you as a gift. See what I'm saying? Kirsten said like they buying their wives' houses as a gift, like with a big red bow. I don't know nobody that happened for.
And if that's the case, then she needs to find friends of those friends' husbands.
Hello.
And because they got to run in circles with people that have that type of money to get that together.
Well,
This why I think she don't know nobody like that. Let's go back. She ain't got no furniture in her apartment. You don't run in them circles, honey.
And I thought about this too. She didn't even know how to use the Swiffer thing, so you definitely ain't cleaning that.
I wanted to say that she just has this this idea that the husband owes her something. You know, the idea that this is what he's supposed to do, because like all her other friends who husbands are doing that. But the thing about it is, or the realization of it is that are you guys in the same tax bracket? Because a lot of people that can afford a $2.9 million house aren't in the same tax bracket as majority people in the United States. So that's something you have to think about too. And it's like, we have to be realistic. And I think that's where Shaq was coming from. Because you look at it like with our situation, she encouraged me that it was time to buy a house. We went 18 offers before we got this house. And that's I know we have to live somewhere. When we first moved in together, I said, I'll take care of the rent, and we'll balance out everything else, because the tax bracket we was in and the money that we were making, it was a financial decision. So with like, I think she misses that in the conversation with him, and he's being more realistic with her. Like, hey, I don't want to do that because then I feel used. I still have feelings as a man in this situation because yeah, I want to be able to do that for you, and I want to be able to do that for myself. But I'm like, if I buy a house, it's not only for you. It's for me and our family too. So it's her, as Artika called it, her pretty face syndrome,
It's her pretty privilege.
her pretty privilege. And that for some people that goes right. You buy me this, you buy me a car, you buy me a house, you buy me that, that goes for some people. But for most people, they're like, nah, I can't do that for you. I have to, like, if I buy a house and we're together, you benefit from the house that I buy. Right? If I buy a car and we're together, you can drive that car. You're gonna be on the insurance. You'll have a key. It's our car. So it's, and she kept saying me instead of us. I was
Right.
like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
Right.
I think
that's what I'm saying.
And that's the thing with me. She's like me. And like I said on our review, when you tell a man he has to do something, he can be like, I ain't doing it. She was like, oh, you have to buy me. He was like, okay, I can show you better. I can tell you. Like, nah, we ain't don't have to do anything. And then I like kind of like Shaq when it was when at the end, Shaq got a little petty. He said, no, we can talk about this now. I'm gonna wait here while you eating. And you gonna finish. We're gonna have
the petty part was why you smacking like that. Cover your mouth.
I was getting there in a minute. He's like, yo, why you smacking like that? Cover your mouth. You talking too much. I mean, you eating. I don't need to see all that. And you can see where he kind of man up a little bit. Like, hold on, we're gonna have this conversation tonight. Oh, you getting crazy on me?
Oh, that was funny when she was like, "Oh, you talking crazy? Why you bringing this up now?" I think Shaq, come on now. And we've all done this before. Like, you had a conversation, and then Shaq thought about it. He was like, "Hold on." He came back later. Wait, I want to bring this up. She was like, "I'm past that. I was joking." Nah, I don't think you was joking. But I'm gonna let you know that I'm not playing that. If you was joking, I ain't joking. Like, we're not getting ready to do that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was like for Shaq, it rubbed him the wrong way. Like, it rubbed me the wrong way, and she wasn't talking to me. So it's like, because that rubbed him the wrong way, opportunity is no better time than now to talk about something, because he has to make a decision. That's a tough way to make a decision off of somebody saying you got to buy me a house. And so that's the expectation at this point, is that I owe you something. And if that's the expectation, can I meet that expectation? You know what I'm saying? Do I want to meet that expectation? So now he's going into a whole different lane of ideas and scenarios that that has concocted in his head because of what she said. So he had to clear that up. And then so from clearing that part up, and then she not wanting to talk about it. Nah, we got to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can appreciate him standing in his moment saying, nah, we're going to talk about it. And, she has to respect it. Now, she, like, what she does with that information, that's on her. But
Quad said,
I love it, Quad.
Quad said, that's right. Quad said, that's right. Any other thoughts on Shaq and Kirsten? I think
they could be so good. I think they could be so good together. I hate to say this because we was talking about this before. It's superficial. I think they look good together. I think they could work if she get out of her fantasies, and if Shaq gives her a little more time and attention. Make time for love, Shaquille. But I think they could work. And if she gets some air out, I don't want to call her no airhead, but you know what I'm saying? I think if she
come down a little bit.
Yes, take some air out that balloon and deflate that balloon a little bit, these little fantasies, but and be realistic. I think you said this, and in your review that you did by yourself, I think, or it might have been, you might have said it in the one we did together, but
shade.
We can't.
straight shade. Y'all
the other thing is you can't hold, everybody's marriage is different. Yes, do we use our parents' marriage as an example? Our spouse may use their parents or may not use their parents as an example, but you have to form your own. This is your own family, and you operate it the way it works best for you. So you can't get caught up on how it used to be, because this is 2023. Might not be able to do that. Husbands ain't made like that no more sometimes.
Well, sometimes wives ain't made that. I mean,
and that's the truth too.
Sometimes
wives don't cook like they used to. Don't ask her to have no meal on the table when you come home. You wasting your breath. Y'all both gonna be starving. It's just, this ain't the 50s, the 60s, 70s, or the 80s. Me and my sister was talking about that. I don't know how my mama made sure we was fed every day, and she worked 9 to 5 and did stuff after she got off from work. How?
She ain't Instagram, TikTok, or any social media. I'll just be honest. Look at how much time you spend on social media today. People can do that. Hey, Graham, I'm agree with you. I'm gonna ask August Love Story this. Shaq and Jasmine, can y'all see them being together? I know he wasn't flirting with her. I know he wasn't flirting, but she was feeling the conversation.
I think if they had been matched, they could have worked.
Yeah. I think because they didn't match, they won't cross that line.
Yeah.
But if they got matched together, they would have worked.
They won't be like Bow and what's his name?
No, they gonna be like Bow and old dude.
Bow.
What's his name?
What happened
Bow
with
and
that?
Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna cross over like Bow and Zach. Do you see? Okay, let's flip it. Do you see Eris and Kirsten if they had been matched?
Not right.
Strangely,
that
though,
would have fit.
Me too.
I think, but it wouldn't have worked like it was supposed to, because she would have fit his physical. I think she would have fit his physical attraction, what he's used to. But then that would cause him not to get past the surface.
Yeah,
so I think it would work like that.
Surface either, so it would have been a match made in non-deep heaven.
I don't think he would have opened up to her, and his game plan would be to GTD.
Mm-hmm.
But he would have been more masculine than Shaq, and so he would have been more assertive and more of a lead, taking a lead type role that she liked. Because he did GTD.
But what kind of lead? He take the lead sexually. He don't look like he taking no head of the household lead.
Go back to Kirsten. She wanted somebody to take the lead sexually, and that was her issue with Shaq. That's why they had to do the whole painting thing. He wasn't giving her attention. Eris would have gave her a whole bunch of attention that she wanted.
Eris would have been okay if she didn't have nightstands.
Right.
Eris would have seen her caboose and been like, "Yep,
gonna get some of that soon."
You ain't got to worry about me.
Right.
Worry about.
And that's what I'm saying. And he would have fallen back to me. I think Eris would have fallen back in his pattern that I'm thinking he was in already.
Yeah.
Just about getting the draws. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Your color, your favorite color. We're never gonna win the newlywed game.
At all. Oh, they have to play that.
But you know what? She didn't have a bad when they were playing a little game and she was in a yoga pants. It wasn't like it was small.
Who?
Jasmine, but it wasn't like Jasmine.
But he must like somebody dragging that wagon.
Yeah,
he like junking the trunk.
Like when they were playing the Nerf game, Jasmine had the little yoga pants on. It's not like her booty was real small. Now when she wears some of the other stuff, it's like she got no shape.
He must only like BBL mamas.
Yep.
He said his type was Megan Thee Stallion and what's the girl's name? Lauren London.
Big booties.
So when he was asked on marry after party, that was his type. Lauren London and Megan Thee Stallion.
But donk.
Jackie, you tripping me out.
Yo, creative days. You're right. He did maintain eye contact with Kirsten the whole time.
Right.
I noticed it. Somebody else made a comment, and I went back and watched when he was talking to Kirsten. He had no problem making eye contact with her, and he was here.
Because he don't like Jasmine, man. That's the issue. It's something about her that he just doesn't like, and so but Kirsten. Is it Kirsten?
Kirsten. K-Dog.
It's a whole different person.
It is, man. Hey, well, that's Married at First Sight. That's our thoughts for this week on episode 13. You let me know what you guys think. Tommy, Artika, closing thoughts? Anything you guys want to promote, man?
Like always, man. Go like, follow, subscribe, share, all those things to our love story, Jack and Glenn, to Lisa Ray. We'll do all those things and support our channels. What else? Podcast comes back Wednesday.
Okay, that's what's up.
Artika's birthday is Thursday. Yes.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah. Life with Artika, go subscribe to that channel. What else? I think that's it. Oh, go check out our coffee break from yesterday and all the good things, man.
Yeah. Hey, just like Tommy said, just subscribe everybody, and you guys have a great week.
Make sure y'all watch Glenn's videos without me.
I'll be watching them too. I'll be like, man, Glenn just going rogue.
Let me tell you, you know how I play too, but I'm not really mad at him. Sometimes he do it while I'm in the room. I just be working, and I refuse to get up from my desk because I be trying to get my work. I'm not saying you don't be working.
I take a break.
So I ain't hating. I just be picking. At first I was a little bit salty, a little bit, but it's okay.
That's how I felt when Artika was talking about her channel. And so I was like, man, she trying to be Beyonce and stuff, man. God, lead a group. God,
right. Right.
Always have Destiny Child. Thank you, Mama and Kathy.
Yes. Enjoy her birthday. Enjoy your birthday. Hey, y'all enjoy the video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, like it, share it. I love the new feature, whether you're watching on August Love Story or you're watching on Jack and Glenn. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy it keep enjoying it. Keep watching us and keep liking us. Plus, it's WrestleMania Sunday, so you guys have a great one. It's time for some wrestling. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Nobody.
Peace.
Yeah.